Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Lunocraft here, and thank you for watching my tutorial on how to build and create on Kenshi. Now what I'm going to talk about in this one is a few things. The first one is going to be location, whether it be to towns, the bandits that walk around, and also certain patrols that can be very helpful. Then I'm also going to talk about how you actually start building the different types of buildings that are available, how to actually place them, the hotkeys that you need to know, and I don't know how to actually get rid of them. If you do know, let me know. Send me a message, comment, something like that. This is an alpha, so it may not actually be available just yet. Um, I'm also going to talk about the building materials, how you actually how you obtain them, and then I'm also going to take and cover what kind of paths can you take. Are you going to go straight for research to unlock things, or are you going to go to production to be able to build things quickly? So I'm going to go ahead and go over those for you. I'm going to go ahead and open up my game. Now I've actually done quite a lot of building with this one. I actually have started quite a large town, and you'll see that. Um, there's, well, anyways, let me just go ahead and show you actually. Here you can see Pickles is my starting character here. I actually haven't lost a single one. You can see two people down, but I'm going to cover, bandits are a big issue. Okay, so here's my town. It's growing. It's nothing major just yet. Laugh at my characters' names, especially Mr. Butts. I actually made his butt gigantic just because I thought it was funny looking. But let me go ahead and go over this. So towns, the location, that's the very first thing. The towns, that's the most important thing, because that's how you're going to be able to do a lot of trade, especially in the beginning. You don't want to go too far out, which I'll talk about later with building materials. You run the risk of bandits. So as you can see here, I actually picked a very nice location for the towns. I have Brink here, Trader's Edge, and this name that I can't read. And then I also have, it looks like Clown Steady or something like that. So I'm actually in a really great location. Whatever city I want to go to, I have the option. A huge amount of trade. The next thing with location are the bandits. As you can already see, there are bandits everywhere around here. There are a bunch over here as well, and a lot traveling. I got some right here, and then I got some over here. As you can see, Mr. Butts is already dead. In fact, these guys, I need to get them out of there. So bandits are very important. You gotta, are you wanting to sit there and fight and struggle to be able to build your place, which isn't a bad thing. Don't get me wrong, because if you kill them, you get a great amount of loot, and you can sell that and make a lot of money, especially with the weapons. And the next thing is patrols. A lot of time there's a lot of religious people, there's the empire, there's trading caravans that are walking by. If you pick a good location for that, then what you can do, which I originally did, that's why Mr. Butts over here is so far away, is actually lured a group of bandits over to them, and they fought and killed them all for me. Now I forgot Mr. Butts was over there. Oh yeah, he's alive. Now I forgot that he was over there, so he sadly did not survive very well. In fact, actually, he's screwed right now. Oh well. He'll get here eventually. Oh wait, no. He's pretty much dead. Okay, well, in that case, charge! Save Mr. Butts! Ignore that. Let them do the thing. Okay, so that's location. As you can already see, I already have a very difficult place for bandits. So how to actually start building. To do that, I recommend just clicking anywhere so you can get this menu. Sometimes if you do this, you don't get that menu, or if you're in someone's inventory, things like that, or not that, every once in a while I can't find it and I have to click outside the person. So you click build, and you see there's actually quite an extensive list here. They're all very important. Please, Mr. Butts, don't you dare die. But you have buildings, crafting, farming, interior mining, power, storage, and tech. Buildings is actually things like small shack like this and a house. They're very important. When you start off, you'll get a shack. You also get these farming. There's a way that you can work with that. I've only found that they're good for trade so far, so not entirely important. Mr. Butt ran out of blood. Great, he might be bleeding out and dying. There's the mining, which is also very important. You'll get that. You'll get power, and then you also get this research bench. So those are all the different things that you get. So for example, let me go ahead and what do I need? You can never have too many houses. That's kind of what I figured out. In fact, actually, let me zoom in a little bit. Now, for hotkeys, these are also very important. Um, when you're selecting this right here, which by the way, build mode does pause it once you click on the building, so you are safe. That's why I'm not worrying about the battle right now. You hit the less than and the greater than symbol to rotate this. If you hit the page up and page down, it basically places it higher or lower on the terrain. And if you hit, let's say, oh, I get this right here. I don't want all this. That's too much. So what can you do? You can hit escape. It gets rid of all plans that you've just built. If you were to actually sit here and, actually just for looks, I'm going to go with a small shack. Or no, I'm going to do house storage. I'm going to make a giant storage building here. Yeah, okay. So if you hit the space bar, it builds it. Boom. You got that right there. And I don't know how to delete it yet. Never mind. I now know how to delete it. You hit dismantle, and that's them. They're going to actually do that. That's these guys. I have to select them, tell them to. They're done with the battle yet? Yeah, I think they just finished. Good. I'm going to tell Mr. Panda Bear to revive Mr. Butts. So anyways, that's how you get rid of it. That's the hotkeys. Makes it nice and easy. Now what you need though is if you click on them, of course they're not built. You got to get something for them. There's the condition right here. That right there, I don't know what the funds do. I don't know what members does. I haven't even bothered. It hasn't affected me whatsoever knowing it. Condition just shows you the percentage of what is complete, up to 100%. I mean, it's pretty basic. Why are they not? Get your butts over here. I'm going to tell them to just go ahead and dismantle this. Now, let's say, then there's the building materials. Building materials are something that you're going to actually equip into the housing to be able to build it. I mean, it's as simple as what it says. Now, let's say that you have the building materials needed for a building is 10, okay? You can tell your workers you upload 10. No, it needs 10, but you have 5. You upload the 5 onto it. You just literally, let's say Tarzan had a bunch right here in his inventory. I just right click on the building and he loads up all of his building materials up until it's filled up, and then anyone can work on it from that point on. Let's say you get 5 of the building materials out of the 10 that you need. So the condition can only go up to 50% because 5 is only 50% of 10. So it's just a simple mathematical thing. So if you had 2 building materials out of the 10, then you can build it up to 20%. And of course, once it's fully got the full building material, then you can go all the way up to 100%. And then you get the building. Now, what do the building materials look like? Well, there's actually 2 ways that you can get them. Now, one I'm going to show you is as simple as you can make them. Okay, I'm going to talk about that in just a second. Is one of the paths that you can go to, but just for a heads up, you use these, you can actually build them, or you can make them yourself. It's a slow process, but it's free, it's cheap, very, very cheap. Other one is you kill bandits, stuff like that. You become stronger, which is actually really good. As your guys become more seasoned with learning how to fight, they actually can last longer in fights, so bandits are not as much of an issue at that point. Now, granted, as you can see, my guys actually survived quite well there. But so those are the 2 different ways that you can get building materials. Now, once you get the money, or I do recommend if you do decide to go and kill bandits and get that, and if you can't kill bandits yourselves, lure them to another group and then just team up on the bandits and loot them afterwards. I do not, and I highly do not recommend clothing. Don't get that. Only get the armor and the weapons, because those sell for hundreds of the money, whereas at most I've seen 20 for the clothing, and it takes up a lot of space, and it's just a mess. It's really not worth it, especially if you got a place where there's a lot of bandits and a lot of people who are able to kill bandits. I mean, I stick bandits on bandits and then join in and kill them all, and I got huge loot. Now, if you're going to do that way, though, I'm going to recommend, I have it on Pickles here, you get this right here. This is the large backpack. It costs 5,000. That's expensive, I'm not going to lie. But you can carry a ton of inventory. I have two people. I have Sebastian also having that, and I literally just send them out to gather weapons, sell, and when they're done, I'm sitting about 6 to 8,000 money later. So it's a really good way to make a lot of money, and it's one quick trip for me. I mean, that takes about maybe 10 minutes to do, and it's done, and that's with travel time. So that's one way you can do it. Now you actually then have to buy building materials. That's actually what this looks like over here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Pickles real quick. I've already set him up. He's actually right by the town. Now this is the town that's right up north here, by it's Brink. Now when you find a town, it doesn't matter which one it is. Some of them have it, some of them don't. But what you want to look for is the trade symbol. If you find trade, it's most likely going to be in there. If it's not in there, you can search other buildings. I haven't seen it in other buildings before, but because I haven't seen it in other buildings, I can't say it doesn't exist in other buildings. So here we go to trade. Pretty much all you want to do is click on the counters. I know this one isn't it, but I'm just showing you. That guy's not it, so let me click on the other counter. Boom, there you go. Building materials. They cost a lot, 267, sorry, dyslexia. So you can see it's not cheap. I mean, that's about, if you sell 3 swords, you can buy 2 of these. That's about what it roughly comes to. So they're not exactly cheap to get, but if you're making a lot of trade, that's not an issue. If you're making a lot of money through trade, I should say. Now I'm going to talk about the different routes that you can take. And I'm going to lead into it by talking about the mines and what you can actually do there. So you can build the mines. You need 3 different things to be able to do this, okay? First one is the mine itself. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. The next one, the mines themselves, they get the raw stone. And then you build a stone processor and makes it into building materials. It's a very slow process. It's not incredibly slow. The more workers that you have, you can put up to 4 on this one and up to 8 on this one. You're probably not going to have that many, but you can kind of, if you like, I have 10. I just trade them off back and forth. I usually have 2 people working on building stuff, and then 1 person researching, and then just split it from there. It's nice and easy. But this does not work unless you have a generator. You need power for the building to work. So it's kind of a little bit you need to go with the trade route to be able to build this, but once you build this, you can actually survive on this. It takes a while, but it's really not too bad. And the one issue you do kind of find with this, and this is where I'm kind of saying that the 2 different paths that you can kind of go with is you can go with the research so that you can get things quicker, or you can unlock things quicker, which is very important. There's a few things I'm going to show you real quick that really comes into play. But then you also have the production where you can start working for this first, or you can actually start building a farm to make a lot of money from trade. It doesn't make you a huge amount, but it's fast. So, if you're not too far away from an actual town, like I'm really not too far away, especially with the town over there, I'm the closest to that one, then that can actually play a really good, important role in trying to make some money. So it's up to you how you really want to go with that scenario. But let me show you the research. Now, as you can see, I have an issue with Bandits. Bandits is not an easy place of where I went. Again, back with location, Bandits travel here. One thing that was beneficial here is I end up picking some flat lowland, so I can really just look at where everything is. That does help out a great deal. But if you research, so you need a small shack. You first have to build that for the research. Once the door is open, okay, there you go. That's the research. That's storage. Ignore that. You can actually do that if you want, but I haven't really found it beneficial because I use it faster than I even store it or make it. So this is the research thing. To be able to do that, and this is very important, is you click the tech button and you click over here which one that you want. Now right now I have a better research equipment to be able to work on, and all you really do is once it's built, you right click it, and as you can see, Tarzan's working away. Done. Now one thing that I did research, there's a couple things. One, I researched storage so that I could get those boxes. And then on top of that, I researched the shopping and trade, which is also very important. What it does is you set it up, you drop stuff onto the counter, and people will come up and buy it, which is awesome. You now do not have to make the trade. What's great about that is bandits coming by, the patroller or the trade caravans will bring caravan guards, which will kill bandits. What can you do with that? You loot their swords and you put it back on the counter and you sell. You make more money. It's a true win-win situation. It's great. It just brings in protection at the same time you're making money, and then you make a little extra money after that. But the one thing, when you have bandits, this is what I really recommend. I'm going to send Tarzan into this building, is beds. I cannot stress beds enough. So what ends up happening, you can see here Tarzan, and I'm going to end up kind of speeding this up both in game and on the video. So I'm sending him. He's repairing himself. Go ahead. Now you see the green. Well, the red is basically how much he's damaged. That makes sense. The yellow, you'll see his numbers are going to tick up, going up a little bit. Oh God, really? More bandits? All right, let me send my men in there. Okay, guys, that actually really didn't turn out too well. Wasn't paying attention, and bandits pretty much got me. So I'm going to quickly recover from this. This is actually shows me, or I can show you guys just a little bit more about that. If someone pops up real quick, I can really do that. But anyway, so what's great about this is location some more. I really can't stress that enough. I can just run to town, and then the guards there will kill them. I loot them, sell money, get money, or sell the stuff, make money. Go keep doing stuff. But anyway, so when one of these guys wake up, what I'll do, oh my God, it's already up. So right click him, use first aid. Always keep your guys full of first aid kits. I really, that one's just a big deal. And once they're done with that, let me, oh come on, oh my God, just listen to me a little bit faster. So heal Tarzan up. In fact, actually, let me speed this up real quick. Okay, so what I can do here is tell him to, oh my God, pick up Tarzan. It's kind of crazy. This little scrawny guy can do that. Right click at the bed, and then boom. Now you can they're in town. That's not an issue. But look at the green. The green's now filling up. The blood's getting back to him. I mean, it's really, really helpful. And now see, Tarzan's revived. He can get back up again. Then he can go help some other people. So beds are very important. Now in town, as I was saying, they are there. Problem with that, they cost 100 each to use, which is not expensive by any means. But when you have, as many people as I've got here, oopsies, where am I going? Wrong person. As you can see, I've got a lot of people. It really just gets expensive, and especially since it's very easy to make mistakes. It's just some of the beds are not exactly properly placed. So anyways, that shows again, you get the research, then you can be able to do this right here, and pretty much why is he out of bed? Get back in there. You get the research, you can unlock stuff like this. So you can see I'm already quickly recovering from this one big accident that just happened. So always revive first, bring them to the bed. It's a good situation. Now, of course, you're going to hit a little bit of difficulty. If you don't go to with some production, you're not going to get the building materials, and so you're going to have to really rely on your trade to be able to do stuff like this. But once you kind of get a little bit of both, it makes it a lot easier. So anyways, guys, I hope you did enjoy the tutorial here. If you did, if it was helpful, please click the like button. If it wasn't, leave me some comments, what I should have covered, and I'll probably just do another tutorial, not a problem. If you want me to do a tutorial about something else, let me know in the comments, or send me a message or something like that. I'll be more than happy to do that. But again, I really hope this was helpful, and if it was, let me know, and I will see you guys later.